On today's show, we have Shiva from UNICEF join us in the studio to talk about Goal 4 of the SDGs. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
So, for the viewers who are listening who don't know what Goal 4 is, can you tell us what Goal 4 is and what's the status like in Papua New Guinea?
Okay. The Sustainable Development Goal 4 is on education. It focuses on quality education and inclusive, especially the inclusive aspect, which means that every child in the classroom should have a good quality education. When we say every child, we should really think of children with disabilities also, that they are in the classroom and learning together. So it's very, very important that the teachers are well trained. The classroom environment is really good learning environment. The materials and of course the overall the community's understanding also when it comes to the community, especially the board, we have a board of management should really have a good understanding of what it is all about, the quality education. That's the Sustainable Development Goal 4, yes. And
how are issues around education affecting women and children or in youth in Papua New Guinea?
Well, when we see the Papua New Guinea education achievement, I think the Papua New Guinea is progressing well actually in terms of the quality and access to education. But there are still a number of things that we should look. The education statistics from the Department of Education says that it's only 68% of the children from pre-primary to primary, is with the right age actually. We call that net enrollment rate. The net enrollment rate from prep to the primary is only 68%. So
when you say the age, you mean like, what is the age that?
Yeah. The Papua New Guinean education structure describes that when a child is 6 years, he or she has to be into the elementary class, right? That's how the right is. So 6, 7, 8, 3 years is for the elementary age. Beyond that, until 14 is the primary age. So we have to make sure that children in the classroom are of right age. What we see in PNG is that there is a lot of overage children in the classrooms.
Yes, that's correct.
Sometimes, which is really 60 to 70% also. This is from the data that I analyzing from the department, and that is not good. That won't create a very good learning environment in the classroom. That will cause many children to be out of school. And that's an issue in PNG also, that the children, are really many children of school age, they are out of school. Again, I refer to the data with the National Department of Education. It says the transition rate, from primary to secondary education is only 57%.
Wow.
So, which means that the children, those who are supposed to be school immediately after the primary to secondary, there are many of them. Only 57% are really transiting to secondary education. So there is a big dropout actually. 100% of the children should really go to the in the secondary educations. But maybe the issues when we talk about PNG, there are several issues such as maybe the infrastructures. The schools are not enough. There are around 12,000 primary schools, where there is only 250 secondary schools.
And most of the classrooms are over, like instead of having, there's a quota as to how many students should be in a classroom, right? But there's usually 60 or 70 per teacher, which is not...
In some places we see that, of course, yes. The places that I have been in some provinces, I saw that, there are the pupil and the teacher ratio is quite high actually. Even sometimes one teacher has to handle 60 or somewhere like that. But the case is not very general. There are classrooms that I have seen also, very good, decent classrooms, with quite a good size of students and teachers. The issue is also in the elementary part, that the teachers in the elementary education, the training system for them, on-service training and also pre-service training for the teachers of elementary is not that enough actually. We need to do a lot actually there. And the investment at the elementary level is also minimal actually. When we see the the tuition free policy investment, a child at the elementary level gets 100 or 10 or 20 kina, something like that per year. The primary age child will get 270 kina or something like that, and where secondary age child will get like somewhere 900 kina. So it goes like that. So the investment at the elementary level is minimal actually, and that's the foundation of our life. We should really make sure that we are investing a lot for our young children. When our foundation is strong, then I'm sure our later part of life will really very good actually. Our learning and everything is based on the good education at the elementary level.
That's right.
And that is the area that I really urge, that we should really focus there.
Yes. And what are some of the initiatives that UNICEF and the UN are doing to address?
Okay, that's a good question actually. Actually, UNICEF or UN, we work as one UN in PNG. UNICEF is really responsible for the education, for protection, for nutrition, all these issues, health also for the children. Especially when I talk to education, we don't work directly isolated as a project actually. Now what we do is that we work with government or PNG, right? We work with the civil society organizations, we work with the school board or schools. So we support government to strengthen the training system in the country, teachers training system, a good quality education classroom environment, as well as we produce some information, some knowledge, and also we are really supporting now for the early childhood education program, because here I see that there is not much actually the early childhood education. As I said, the elementary education starts from age 6. You see, we have crossed all those important years from age 3 to 5, and that's a very important year for learning also. Again, that's the foundation year where the brain development takes place, where we should have good nutrition, good health, and protected environment for a child. And that could be created into kind of learning centers for a child, where the children, they come together, they learn together being, you see, and that's the age where they learn also to be to how to really mingle each other, you see, so that at the later age they have also a good skill,
communication,
good communication skills, and also good learning. This early childhood education is very important for school readiness. We call it school readiness. A child has to ready to go to school, he or she should go through this process. So that is something that we are also now focusing. And also UNICEF is really focusing on out of school children issue. As I said earlier, that the transition rate is really very poor. Then comes the girls' education. The gender violence is another issue here, whereby the girls, they don't find their school is very friendly for them. The schools, water, sanitation and hygiene facilities in schools, and that some schools, they are doing well actually. I've seen some schools, but most of the schools where we need to see that the water, sanitation and hygiene environment are really very good actually. Especially for girls when they are in their menstrual period, they need an environment where they feel comfortable
to go to school.
Whereby they really, feel that, okay, this is my school where I can have my personal life well managed, and I can go to my classroom and learn and interact, be comfortable there. So these are the things that we should really take note of. And a school has to be a kind of a facility with all the multi-sectoral, environment.
Definitely.
So we are really focusing on water, sanitation and hygiene issues, whereby we support communities to mobilize. We support teachers, we support also to build, some infrastructures. But as I said, we are not really working as a project. We just show some good example, good models, to the government.
And you're working with the other stakeholders.
Yes. So these are some issues. There's one more issue that I would like to focus here with. I think we need to work a lot on the inclusive environment, the children with disabilities. We don't have much data, much information on that, here. And the classrooms that I visited, I've been some inclusive learning centers also. They are doing good job. For example, the SARC, the inclusive resource centers, The schools still need to do a lot, and the teachers, they need to provide a good training on how to make a classroom very inclusive, actually.
Well,
Yes.
I wish there's so much to talk about when it comes to Goal Forward, and I
Yes.
really wish we had more time to.
Yeah.
But maybe you can come back on because we've run out of time. But thanks so much, Chief, for coming on, for talking about this important, education, especially for for all our children in Papua New Guinea. So thank you so much for coming in.
Okay.